Hello guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be ranking every NHL Winter Classic jersey 22-1. Now this was a video that I was planning to do in the off season, but since the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Boston Bruins Winter Classic is happening this 2019 New Year's Eve, I thought I'd postpone it till those jerseys were revealed, and of course last week we got them both revealed. I made a video about that, and now we have every Winter Classic jersey for me to rank today. Now, just a little bit of a disclaimer, these are just NHL Winter Classic jerseys. This video will not include Centennial Series, this video will not include Stadium Series jerseys. Those jerseys are for another time. This video will just be about Winter Classic jerseys. Now we're going to get straight into the rankings, and at number 22, I have the Philadelphia Flyers 2010 Winter Classic jersey. Now I'm going to have the pictures up in this corner right here, but the reason I have it last out of these 22 Winter Classic jerseys, it's because it's just pretty much the Philadelphia Flyers away jersey that they have now. When it came to Winter Classic jerseys, this was by far the most bland, mostly because it's the same exact jersey that the Flyers wear almost every single game. So I had to put them last, and while new ideas may look worse than a Philadelphia Flyers away jersey, this was just last because of the non-creativity. As number 21, I have the Chicago Blackhawks 2015 Winter Classic jersey, and this one I think is okay as a design, but there are some more creative ones down the line in this video. It's practically just the Chicago Blackhawks away jersey. You have the alternate design, that third logo on the elbows, which I do like. I like the striping here with the whites, but when it comes down to it, it's not as creative and it's not as out there as other jerseys. So while I do think it's decent, I just had to put it down just because of the same reason as the last one, not a whole ton of creativity. At number 20, I have the Buffalo Sabres 2008 Winter Classic jersey, and this is okay. It's not exactly like their the Sabres away one. There are some differences there, mostly with the striping along the elbow, where it's a lot more bold than the actual Buffalo Sabres away jersey, but it's pretty much the same concept, the same design, and for that, I put them pretty down and low in the list. I do actually like this concept. I do like that logo when it comes to the away jerseys, and I think this jersey works well, but I just think that since it's not as creative and it isn't as flamboyant as some other jerseys, I had to put them a little bit lower in the rankings. At number 19, I have the Detroit Red Wings 2009 Winter Classic jersey. Now we're starting to get out of the territory of just plain ripoffs of their normal jerseys. This one is a lot different. Of course, this was a throwback to, I think, the 20s of Detroit Red Wings. Don't quote me on that. But when it comes to this jersey, I think it's okay, but when it comes down to it, I really do not like that logo, especially when it's just copied and pasted on that red. I do like the striping there where it just has that one big red bold color going across the chest and across the arms. But I don't really like that logo compared to the Stadium Series jersey that they had before, and while I think it's decent, it just doesn't really compare to the other ones on this list. At number 18, I got the Chicago Blackhawks 2017 Winter Classic jersey. Now you may be thinking, this is very similar to the Chicago Blackhawks Winter Classic jersey that I ranked a couple of spots ago, and yes, it is very similar. But with this one, you have that older logo with the Chicago Blackhawks, the much more retro logo. I think it works a lot better here. With the current logo they had on the other one, it just didn't really fit with the style there, and I think I like this a lot more. And while it is pretty much the same design as that one, except you got that retro design, I think it works better with that retro logo, so that's why it's up more. But again, it's still almost a copy paste. It is a throwback, so I'm going to cut them a little bit of slack there, but again, it still is that one that we saw a couple of spots ago, so it's not going to be as high as some of the others. At number 17, I got the 2014 Toronto Maple Leafs Winter Classic jersey, and back then when I watched this, I wasn't an avid hockey fan, but man, I have always hated this jersey, and I don't like that logo at all. I know it's a throwback jersey, but again, I just do not like the concept. The logo just looks, again, like the 1920s, back where the throwback was. I hate the 4 stripes. It just seems so much. I like the shoulders where it has the white there. I think that works pretty well. For the rest of the jersey, I just don't think it works well at all. I prefer much more Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys, and this one was always one of my least favorites in the NHL. At number 16, I got the Washington Capitals 2015 Winter Classic jersey, and I know this is a pretty polarizing one. I've seen people love it. I've seen people hate it. I'm kind of in the middle there. I do like the shoulders, actually, where it has the red and whites there. I actually like that part. When it comes to the logo, I just think it's kind of bleh. I don't like the Capitals on it, and then the big W. It's just, when it comes to word fonts as logos, I just don't really like that part. I like the 3 stars. I think that works well. I like the bottom where it has the couple of white stripes. I like the red as that main color, but when it comes down to it, I just don't think it stacks up to other Washington Capitals jerseys, and it definitely doesn't stack up to some of the other Winter Classics on this list. And while I think it has some good qualities, it just isn't quite good enough. At number 15, I got the Chicago Blackhawks 2009 Winter Classic jersey, and I think this is a lot better than the white ones that they had in 2015 and 2017. I like this design. I don't love it, but I like it. I like the yellow and the red stripes across the crest. You guys know that I like those kinds of concept with Florida right now and with Montreal right now. I like that part about it. The black, I'm not a huge fan of, but again, you gotta have that contrast. You're gonna have that big stripes on the middle. Overall, I think it's decent. The logo is kind of okay. I don't really like it. I don't really hate it. But when it comes down to it, I think it's decent. But again, it's still not as good as some other Winter Classic jerseys on this list. At number 14, I got the Boston Bruins 2010 Winter Classic jersey, and I honestly really love this color palette where it has the brown shoulders right there with the white and then the brown. I really like that part. I love the gold. I love the yellow on the crest. I think it works well, especially with the yellow and the brown to contrast that, especially on the arms where it has the 2 stripes and along the bottom as well. I think the overall style of this jersey really, really works. The only part I don't really like is that logo. I know it's a throwback jersey, but man, it looks outdated, and it kind of looks like a preschooler just drew a bee, and that's what they went with. I know it's a throwback jersey, but other than that logo, I do actually like it a lot. I think it's actually pretty solid, but again, I think that logo just looks a little bit too childish, and it kind of drops it down in the rankings. At number 13, I got the New York Rangers 2012 Winter Classic jersey, and I think this is pretty decent for an away jersey and for a white jersey. I think it's pretty solid. I don't really like that logo compared to their actual New York Rangers one that they have right now. I just don't really like the shield kind of feel of it. It kind of looks a little bit awkward on there. I like the overall striping where it has the red, the white, and then the blue on the bottom and across the arms as well. I think that's nice, and I like the shoulders where it has that blue and then the red. Honestly, I think this is a decent jersey concept. I just don't really like the logo all too much, and I would have rather seen the current New York Rangers logo on there. And I know, even though it looks like a throwback, and it might be, I still would rather see that than whatever this is. At number 12, I got the Pittsburgh Penguins 2011 Winter Classic jersey. Now, I think this is a good design, but I have some flaws that I think the jersey has overall. Now, I like the navy blue as the main color. I think that works pretty well. With the baby blue at the bottom, you guys know I love myself some baby blue, but I think it's just a little bit too much here. And while if you're going to use it as a secondary, I think you have it a little bit more quiet on the jersey rather than just these big 4 stripes there. It just doesn't really work for me, and while I love baby blue and I love that navy blue color, it just doesn't stack up to NHL, the other Winter Classic jerseys on this list. And the logo, it kind of looks outdated. I know it's supposed to be a throwback jersey, but that logo just kind of irks me a bit. At number 11, I got the 2016 Bruins Winter Classic jersey. Now, I think this is a good design overall. I like that they were going for almost an all-black feel right there. I think it works pretty well. You have the 2 big yellow stripes on the arms, and you have the letters or the numbers in the middle. I think that works pretty well, but when it comes to that logo, I just don't really like it as much. I have the Boston Bruins 3rd jersey in my collection. Most of you guys know that already, and I like this a lot more compared to this jersey, mostly because that logo is kind of weird. I don't like the big 2 letters, the B and the end at the start and the end, and you have these tiny letters in the middle. It just doesn't really work for me, and that what's supposed to be a bear doesn't really look like it too much. It doesn't look like a bear at all. And then you have the Bruins at the bottom, which is okay, but I just feel like it's a little more complicated, and there were some tweaks that I think should have been made to this logo and even to the jersey that I would like to see. But I think it's solid, but I would make some definite changes to it too. At number 10, I got the Chicago Blackhawks 2019 Winter Classic jersey, and the more and more I look at this, the more I kind of actually start to like it. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks are my least favorite team, you guys know that, so it kind of irks me to say that, but I kind of actually think this jersey is pretty decent. I like that logo there, and while it's only black and white, I think they had the redesign pretty well right here, and with the jersey, with the logo, they were having a throwback to the 1940s, I think it was, and I think this is about as good as they could have done. I like the striping with the white. I could have preferred it without one extra stripe there, but I do overall like the concept, and the shoulders kind of remind me of the New York Rangers, which I like, especially when it has that white and black contrast, and with that, I kind of like it actually, and while it's not one of my favorites, I think they did a pretty awesome job with this. At number 9, I got the Washington Capitals 2011 Winter Classic jersey, and this, I think, is a lot better compared to the 2015 one. With this jersey design, of course, they have the red version, they have the white version, but I think this white version actually works pretty well. I really like that red shoulders right there on there, and it really contrasts well with the white. I don't really like that logo, of course, you guys know that the Capitals were marked, just irks me a lot, but I think it works pretty well, especially with the stars along the top there. I think it works, honestly, and I think it's a pretty solid design, and on the bottom you got that red and blue stripes, which really contrast from the white and really makes it pop, which I really do like. And while it is a white jersey, I'm not a fan of white jerseys usually. I think this is pulled off pretty well, and I think it's honestly one of the better Washington Capitals jerseys that we've seen from their franchise so far. At number 8, I got the 2014 Detroit Red Wings Winter Classic jersey, and compared to the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, I like this a lot more. Now, of course, you got the big red there, and it really does pop, especially on the outdoor ice. I think it looks pretty well, and of course, on the shoulders, you have those two white lines, which I really do like that touch about it. On the arms, you got that big white stripe, and then you got that tiny white stripe, which I think is a good subtlety, and on the bottom, you have the same design with the big white stripe, and then the little tiny stripe on top. And with the logo, it has Detroit, it has that weird font, which I would rather do without, but I like that I honestly like that stylized Detroit Red Wings logo on the crest. I think it works pretty well, and with the Detroit Red Wings jerseys, they've had some plain ones, they've had some basic ones, but I think this is one of the better ones that they've had, especially with the throwbacks. They did a pretty awesome job with this too. At number 7, I got the Philadelphia Flyers 2012 Winter Classic jersey, and this is what I'm talking about, Philly. This is much better than what their last one was when it was just their away jersey. This is so much better. For one, I really like how the orange is done here, where you have all these contrasting stripes, especially on the shoulders where you have that black. I think it works pretty well, and on the bottom you got that big white stripe and the black stripe, and on the shoulders you got black stripe, white stripe, black stripe, which fused in with the orange, I think looks fantastic, and I think this might be my favorite Philadelphia Flyers jersey of their franchise history, just because of how the white, or how the orange is able to contrast with all these different colors with the white and the black. I think they did a pretty awesome job, a pretty amazing job with it, and honestly, comparing it to the 2010 one is so much better than that. At number 6, I got the Boston Bruins, the 2019 Winter Classic jersey. Now, for a white jersey, technically, this is about as good as they could have done. Now, my one big complaint is the big B logo at the middle there. I would have rather seen something different, but again, this is a throwback jersey, so it's come to be expected. But everything else about this jersey, I think, is straight amazing. I love the yellow collar there with the yellow stripe, and then the brown on the shoulders, and it comes down through the arms, and they have those 3 yellow stripes, which I think works perfectly there and really contrasts well with that brown. And on the bottom you have I really like how it's separated with the brown and the yellow. You have that one brown stripe and the yellow stripe, and this big bold brown than the yellow stripe at the bottom. I think it works pretty well, and even though I would rather see a different logo than just a plain B, I think it works very, very well. And for a white jersey, it's about as good as they could have done, and I can't wait to see it on the ice for this year's Winter Classic. At number 5, I got the Montreal Canadiens 2016 Winter Classic jersey. We're into the top 5, and we have some very, very good jerseys here. And for an away jersey, I think this is pretty well as perfect as it gets. I really like that logo, actually, with the white and the red H. While it's not, I guess, modern, I think it works pretty well for a technically throwback jersey. And I just love the blue and the red stripes on there. It works perfectly with the white jersey, and that shade of blue is just straight perfect. On the back, of course, you got the letters and numbers. I think that works well. And of course, on the arms, you got the same design as the crest, where you have that blue and the red. I think it's almost perfect. Maybe would have liked to see something on the shoulders, but for a white jersey and for a Winter Classic jersey, I think it's pretty done. It's done very, very well, and the Montreal Canadiens definitely hit it out of the park here. At number 4, I got the Buffalo Sabres 2018 Winter Classic jersey. Now this thing is just a thing of beauty. I really like that kind of like, I think purplish, kind of bluish shade of, I guess, blue on the shoulders. I really like how that's done. And while the NHL logo is just kind of sitting there, I think overall the style works well. I like that alternate logo on the shoulder. You can just barely see it in this picture. I really like that Buffalo Sabres logo, how they have the NY at the bottom too. And on as the kind of colors there and as the stripings, I really like that, again, kind of shade of blue and the white and then the blue, and then you have 2 of those stripes on both the bottom and on the arm. I think it works very, very well, and while it might look like a little bit busy at times, I think it still works very, very well. And as a Winter Classic jersey, I think it really, really was amazing. And as a away jersey and as a white jersey, it's almost as good as you can get. At number 3, I got the New York Rangers 2018 Winter Classic jersey. We've got Buffalo and New York from the same Winter Classic back to back. But this jersey, I think, is as good as the New York Rangers have ever done. Now, there isn't too much differences from their home jersey, but when it comes down to it, this shade of blue is so dark, but it works so, so perfectly. I don't know what it is, but it works so much better than their home jersey that I had to put it up here. I really like that NY logo right there at the kind of on the right side. I really like these shoulders where it has that yellow or that white and red stripe and then white again. I think it works very, very well, and while it is pretty similar to their current home jersey, I think there's just enough differences where it has the Rangers logo, enough differences on that whole jersey with the new color there they're representing. I think it's different enough for me to like it, and while I don't really love the current home jersey of the Rangers, this is fantastic. But we're up to the top 2 of the ranking, and if you guys know me, you know what the 2 jerseys are that are left, and man, I had such a hard time picking between these 2. But at number 2, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins 2008 Winter Classic jersey. Yes, this is a youth jersey, but it is pretty much the same thing. Man, this is absolutely beautiful. I love this to pieces, and if you guys know me at all when it comes to jerseys, you know I love this jersey. Now, where's to start, man? The baby blue as a main color is so, so good, and it's such an underrepresented color in sports in general. It's so, so good as a main color, and it works so, so well here. I honestly love the white shoulders. It honestly works perfectly with that baby blue, and of course, I don't think there's a better striping texture than that black and that white on the arms. I think it just works perfectly, especially mixed with that baby blue and the white shoulders. It's fantastic. Now, for the logo, I'm not sure. I really do like it when it comes to circle logos. I think it's honestly a good one. I like the bold text of the Pittsburgh and the Penguins, and of course, it does have that throwback Pittsburgh Penguins logo, which I think works pretty well on this, and it's one of my favorite jerseys of all time, of course. Even though I only have a youth jersey of it, I still love it to pieces, and this is honestly one of my favorite jerseys of all time, just because of the baby blue. It raised it so high. But at number 1, my favorite Winter Classic jersey is the St. Louis Blues 2017 Winter Classic jersey. Now, this was redesigned as the 3rd jersey for this year's Adidas era, which I'm so happy about, because this is going to be going down to my top 3 This is going to be going down to my top 3 jerseys of all time. This is one of them. I absolutely love this jersey to pieces. I like that new logo with the St. Louis Blues. It's kind of a retro one, but I like this compared to their current one. It's a lot more. I really do like the baby blue. It's not as baby blue as this one, but it's a lot bigger, or a lot more of a lighter shade of blue, I guess you could say. But I think it works so, so well on this. I like the yellow along the collar there. I think it works pretty well. And that logo, again, I love it a lot more than the current one. And with just the shading and the colors on the arms as well, it has that white stripe and the yellow stripe and the white stripe. It's pretty simple. You also have it along the bottom of the jersey, but I think it works so, so well with that blue and with that lighter shade of blue that I honestly love it a lot. Now, I like that blue helmet as well, and that kind of raises it a bit, but honestly, I think the St. Louis Blues have this jersey down, and I don't think they'll make a better jersey than this in their entire history. I think it's that good. But honestly, picking between the Pittsburgh Penguins jersey and the St. Louis Blues Winter Classic jersey is like picking your children. It's so hard, and honestly, both of these jerseys are one of my favorites of all time. But of course, with my ranking at 22-1, I want to hear your opinions. What do you think about my number 1, and of course, any of the rankings I had in this video? And of course, what are your favorite Winter Classic jerseys? What are your least favorites? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments down below. But of course, if you want some more Grav goodness, you can watch this video where I review both the 2019 Winter Classic jerseys of the Boston Bruins and the Chicago Blackhawks. But that's what everybody, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on my rankings, and of course, what are your rankings as well. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.